What's up my peeps, I'm here with part 2 of my prediction game video for the Fatal 4-Way match that is going to take place at Battleground for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It is going to be John Cena versus Randy Orton versus Kane versus Roman Reigns. Now in this detailed prediction and simulation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over every single superstar in this match, involved in the match, and I'm going to tell you why I think they could or might not win the championship this Sunday. Now, of course, my pick for the match is John Cena. That's who I think is going to win the match. That's who I think has, the biggest chance of walking away with the championship, or actually, in Cena's case, retaining the championship. So, let's start off with the big red monster, or as they call him now, the Demon Kane. As far as Kane goes, in this match, in this Fatal 4-Way match, I think he has the least likely chance of walking away with the title. Now, at Money in the Bank, though, that was a completely different story. Because at Money in the Bank, there was like this possibility that, hey, what if Kane wins the championship in the ladder match? And then what they could do is Bryan, once he comes back, he challenges Kane and wins back the title. Because Kane, kayfabe-wise, storyline-wise, was the one to take him out, was the one to injure him. So, that would have made sense then. So, at that point in time, Kane was a likely winner of that match. Although, still, I thought John Cena was the one who was most likely to walk away of that match with the title. And he did. Now, after Money in the Bank, though, we find out that Bryan's recovery isn't, I guess, going as planned. Or, he might have to do another surgery. So because of that, the whole thing with Kane winning the championship and then Bryan coming back in time for like SummerSlam Night of Champions or something like that, and then challenging Kane, getting his rematch or invoking his rematch clause to win back the championship from the same person who, took him out or hit him with 3 tombstones, that was out of the picture. That it's just not gonna happen. So with that, Kane's chances of winning this, especially right now, when SummerSlam is the next pay-per-view, I think his chances are slim to none. See, let's be real here. There's a lot of talk about possibly seeing Brock Lesnar challenge for the championship at SummerSlam. And that's very, very likely to happen, especially after Brock Lesnar, broke the streak. The most logical thing for Brock to do next would be to go after the championship instead of like entering some random feud against some random superstar. It's the transition that makes the most sense. You don't go from beating the streak, being the only person to break Undertaker's amazing undefeated streak, to like feuding with, I don't know, Zack Ryder. Although, we wouldn't see that, but even like a match like Brock versus Randy or something like that, one-on-one, not for the championship. Basically, anything that wouldn't involve the championship just wouldn't make as much sense. And, Brock works the big pay-per-views. SummerSlam is one of the biggest pay-per-views. I don't think that at SummerSlam we'd see Kane versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, for one, Kane is a heel. And Brock Lesnar is also a heel, so it just wouldn't work out. Although maybe if like Kane was a face or something like that and was getting heavily pushed, then they could do something like, Kane tries to avenge The Undertaker, or actually, Brock Lesnar now targets Undertaker's brother and aims to defeat Kane for the championship, but that just wouldn't happen. And, of course, Kane is not a face, and he's not a champion. He isn't exactly getting, a big push. Actually, lately, whenever Kane is facing off against, main event superstar, actually not just lately, but for a long time, whenever Kane faces off against a main event superstar, feuds with them or whatever, he tends to lose. And if he doesn't lose, the match tends to end in like a disqualification, no contest, or something like that. You rarely see Kane pick up a win, a pinfall victory over another main event star. Last time I think we saw that was, I don't know, maybe Kane beating Undertaker, or maybe Kane beating CM Punk if he did, when he he had like a triple threat match coming up at Money in the Bank or something like that with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure if he even beat them at that time. Anyways, I'm focusing too much on Kane here and the past and just possible scenarios instead of actually, you know, just saying that I don't think Kane is winning this Sunday. So, moving on to Randy. Well, just like Kane, another reason why I can't see Randy winning this is because he's a heel too. So, heel Randy versus heel Brock, it's just not going to happen. And if Randy were to win the championship, why wouldn't he have won it at Money in the Bank instead? I mean, you know, Kane was helping him and all that, but he didn't win the championship at Money in the Bank. So, you know, what makes you think he wins the match this Sunday at Battleground? Now, of course, we've seen things like that happen, you know, in the past where maybe they don't win the first match, but they win a rematch or something. But in this case, it just doesn't seem like very likely, especially with, you know, whoever winning this most likely taking on Brock at SummerSlam for the championship. And for that reason, the top two, you know, guys that could win this are the two faces in the match, Roman Reigns and John Cena. And speaking of Reigns and Randy, what I think could come out of this matchup, though, is a feud between the two that leads to a match at SummerSlam. Although they're already kind of in a feud, but, you know, I'm talking about a one-on-one feud and a pay-per-view one-on-one match between the two. Now, Reigns. Like I said, I think his chances are a bit higher than Randy and Kane, but that's not saying much, because I think at the end of the day, I really think Cena's chances far outweigh the other guy's chances. Like, I think Cena has a, let's say, 90% chance, actually 95% chance of winning this, while the other three guys have like the remaining 5%, with Reigns having a bit more of that 5% than Kane and Randy. And, you know, biggest reason for that is, like I said, Cena versus Brock, and that's really the main thing why I'm going with Cena on this. And also, the whole thing with the Authority right now is them versus John Cena. It's not so much them versus Reigns. It's still, you know, they still don't like Reigns, but the main focus is the Authority versus John Cena, and how if Cena wins, then, you know, they're gonna invoke Plan B, which would be Seth Rollins, I assume, trying to cash in Money in the Bank. Speaking of that, if he does try and do that this Sunday at Battleground, I do think Ambrose is going to stop him once again. Just like Ambrose said he would stop him, or, you know, prevent him from cashing in every single time. And then after that comes in Plan C. On Raw, we saw Paul Heyman approach the Authority, and he told them, hey, if Plan A doesn't work or Plan B doesn't work, then, you know, they could talk to Paul Heyman and they could go to Plan C, which obviously Plan C is Brock Lesnar. And I think that plan would go into effect right after the match at Battleground. I think what we could see is Seth Rollins, like John Cena wins the match, Seth Rollins tries to cash in, Ambrose comes in, chases him away. After that, Cena thinks, alright, it's over, let me celebrate or something like that, and then Brock's music hits, or Brock just comes out and hits an F5 on John Cena, and that closes out the show with Brock standing tall for Cena, or even cooler, Brock takes out Cena, grabs the championships. Actually, something I'm wondering, speaking of the championships, I'm wondering if Cena's going to come out with both championships, both the WWE Championship and World Heavyweight Championship, because on Raw, he gave the world title to Ric Flair, so, like, I don't know, is that permanent? Is Ric Flair now a 17-time world champion? Woo! I don't know, but if he is, that means Cena has 2 more championship runs before he ties Flair. He's got 2 more to go. That means Cena hurt himself by giving Flair that title. Because before, Ric Flair was at 16 championship runs. That means Cena only had 1 left to tie him. Now, he has 2. Just kidding. You know, he's probably not a 17-time world champion because of that now. But back to what I was saying. What would be cool is after Cena wins, you know, Rollins tries to cash in, Ambrose stops him. Then Brock comes out, takes out Cena, and then he should, like, grab the championships or grab the championship, depending on whether Cena comes out with both titles or not. Raise them up, you know, kind of sending a message that, hey, I'm coming after the championships. And that would be a cool way to start the feud and the build for the match at SummerSlam. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, click that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm out. See you guys.